Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Let's get right into today's top stories from across Africa and beyond. First up, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is making headlines after calling on the Israeli government to release South Africans and other nationals detained during the interception of the global Sumud flotilla. Now, if you haven't been following this, here's what happened. The flotilla was on a mission to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, but it was stopped in international waters by Israeli forces. Among those detained is Nkosi Zwelivelile Mandela, who happens to be the grandson of Nelson Mandela, a name that carries a lot of weight in South Africa and around the world. President Ramaphosa isn't holding back. He's condemned the interception, calling it a violation of international law, and he's demanding that all those detained be released immediately. He's also using this moment to highlight the urgent need for humanitarian aid to reach Gaza, and he's repeating his call for Israel to lift its blockade on the region. It's a tense situation, and with high-profile names involved, this is definitely a story I'll be keeping an eye on. Switching gears, let's talk about Madagascar, where political tensions are boiling over. After days of intense protests led mainly by the country's youth, President Andry Rajoelina has taken a dramatic step. He's dismissed his entire government. So, what's fueling these protests? Well, it's a mix of things: frustration over the government's handling of the economy, unemployment, and a general sense that the leadership isn't listening to the people. The youth have been especially vocal, hitting the streets in large numbers and demanding real change. By reshuffling his government, President Rajoelina is hoping to calm things down, but let's be honest, it's a risky move. The protests haven't stopped, and his position is looking more and more precarious. The next few days are going to be crucial for Madagascar's future, and I'll be watching closely to see how things unfold. And finally, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture: Africa's population boom. At a recent investment management conference, Edmund Harris, the chief investment officer at Guinness Global Investors, pointed out something that's caught a lot of people off guard. Africa's population is growing way faster than anyone expected. The average age on the continent? Just 19. That's right, 19. For context, that's more than a decade younger than the global average. This youth-driven surge is creating both challenges and opportunities. On one hand, it means a massive workforce and a huge consumer market. On the other, it puts pressure on governments to create jobs, build infrastructure, and make sure young people have access to education and healthcare. Investors are starting to pay attention, and for good reason. Africa's demographic shift could reshape the global economy in the coming years. But it's not going to be easy. There are still big hurdles to overcome. So, to recap, South Africa's president is demanding the release of detained nationals after the global Sumud flotilla was intercepted. Madagascar's government is in turmoil after youth-led protests forced a dramatic reshuffle, and Africa's population boom is catching investors by surprise, opening up a world of possibilities and challenges. That's it for today's news update. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more updates from across the continent and beyond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.